I'm going to be reading and studying Revelation 17 in the New International Version, and it's titled Babylon the Prostitute on the Beast. When the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth commit adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries." Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names. It had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery: Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. The inhabitants of the earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world will be astonished when they see the beast, because it was, now is not, and yet will come." This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. Amen. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Amen. Then the angel said to me, "The waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over to the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth." The study notes that summarize chapter 17 of Revelation, verses 1 to 18 says, "The metaphor of prostitution was often used to depict Israel's infidelity to God. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 21, Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 20, chapter 3 verse 1, and Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 15. Hosea chapter 2 verse 5, chapter 3 verse 3, chapter 4 verse 15. The prostitute Babylon here is a personification of wickedness and spiritual corruption. Her clothing of purple and scarlet reflects splendor and luxury. And in here for the Bible I'm using, it says to see the chart and colors in the Bible. The term abominations is associated with idolatry. The glaring appearance of the prostitute masks her other moral and religious corruption. The prostitute is obviously responsible for the persecution and death of a great number of believers. She has a name written on her forehead. And it says to see the charts questions from the book of Revelation. Women in the book of Revelation. The saints of God were sealed on their foreheads. That's Revelation 7:3, and chapter 9 verse 4, chapter 13 verse 12, chapter 14 verse 1. As were the followers of the beast, Revelation 13:17. In Rome, prostitutes customarily wore headbands embroidered with their names. This prostitute is the source of all false religions that ensnare. Her significance is not obvious to everyone and must be revealed. Revelation 17:5. The 7 heads may be an allusion to the city of Rome, which was built on 7 hills. But the hills are also 7 kings. The historical succession of Roman emperors does not correspond with the description of the kings provided, verse 10. Perhaps the vision indicates that the great prostitute sits upon a succession of empires. As for verses 12 to 14, it says, "The beast's 10 horns are 10 kings who may be independent earthly rulers." Verse 12, and then it says, to see the chart, questions from the book of Revelation. The number 10 could be exact or merely symbolic of completeness. These kings have short reigns, 1 hour, are associated with the beast, receive authority with him. Verse 12, collaborate together and lend their support to the beast's rule and will be involved in the great war against the Lamb. Verse 14. Moving on to verses 16 to 18. The prostitute appears to represent the capital city of the beast empire. Verse 18. The 10 horns will begin to hate her. They will make her desolate and naked, stripping her of every resource. Verse 16. The metaphor used is taken from the action of wild beast. Psalm chapter 27, verse 2, Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 25, Micah chapter 3, verse 3, and Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 3. Finally, she will be completely destroyed. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16.